Hello everybody, this is Ryan over at High Carb Regenerator. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm just going to give you five, maybe a little bit more than five of the recipes that I've been eating lately. I did go to the farmers markets over the weekend with a friend, so I'm going to post a picture here. I think the total for all of this was 65-ish or something. It wasn't too bad. They're not as cheap as they were, like 2 years ago, but it's still better than going to the regular grocery store, in my opinion. Most of the stuff is local. Most of the people locally don't really use a ton of pesticides. So while they can't afford to have that organic thing, because I believe it's like that little organic symbol, I think it's like $7,000 to $8,000 a year just to have that. So a lot of these places just can't afford that. So you just ask around. A lot of the farmers markets will know the farmers, or that they might be the farmers, and they'll tell you, whether they use something or not. And then you can ask them what they use, and if they do use anything. Most of the places that I've gone to, just they don't bother. A lot of them say they're too cheap for it, which is good for me. So the first recipe, it's really not a ton of stuff. I actually wrote this stuff down. I don't usually do this, but here we are with notes. So the first one that I made, and unfortunately I do not have video of this, so I'll just post some random video of one of the smoothies I make. I hate these damn tiles because then they make me look crooked. Oh my gosh, here we go. So grapes and mango. I'm not a fan of grapes, but lately I've been having a lot of organic grapes because Costco's been having. I'm not gonna say they're at a great price, but they're always in the freezer, and they are not the freezer, in the refrigerator section, and they always look so damn good. So I buy them. I think it's $9 it's like $3 a pound. I'm not gonna say it's a good price, but I've been using them in smoothies because I keep buying them. Like, I don't know what the hell to do with these damn things. Sometimes I'll add them into a salad, but my gut really is not a fan of salads, so I don't do a ton of salads. And my favorite dressing on the planet is raw mangoes, a little bit of mustard, and then maybe if you want to add in like some salsa or something like that. Oh my gosh, so good. It's so simple, so good. But the last time I went there, they really didn't have mangoes. And then when I went to some of the other stores, it was like almost $2 a piece for mangoes. I'm like, eh. So anyway, the mango that I used in this was frozen. So it was grapes and mango. And then the other one I tried yesterday, which I don't have video of either because I just didn't even think of it, was banana, grapes, and mango. So I'll just post like one of my videos of me making a smoothie here. I will say this though, I do, because they're frozen mangoes, I do put all the ingredients in the blender and then let it sit for like 10 or 15 minutes. I don't want the mangoes or whatever's frozen to completely thaw out, but it gets almost too thick if everything's frozen, so I do let it kind of just thaw out. The other thing is I made a new version of this yesterday. It's the air fried potato salad. And I'm going to write up all the ingredients, and you can pause it and write it down. I don't think I can put them all in the description section because there's a word limit, and I think I would overpass it. I will put timestamps in the description section, so look down below. And let me know in the comments after we're done with this if you've tried any of these and which ones you've liked the best. So the air fried potatoes, I have videos of me making the air fried potatoes, but I tried a different version yesterday. So the original version was air fried potatoes. However much, I don't like to give too many specifics on the dressing because I don't know how many potatoes you're making, and so that gets tricky. So I guess I could give what I put on mine. I think it was about 2 tablespoons of ACV, apple cider vinegar, and then whatever mustard you liked. In particular, I used the dill mustard, and then I cut up a bunch of fresh dill and I put it in there and I mix it sauce, and then I put it on top of the air fried potatoes. That was it. That was it. It was so good. It was a hit. I happened to go over to my parents' house 3 weekends in a row. I had to bring my air fryer all 3 times to make this thing. Everybody was grooving on it. It was phenomenal. I'm going over for my dad's birthday is Sunday. I'm going to go over there and I'm actually going to make the new version that I'm going to tell you about. So you just cube and air fry the potatoes like you did the last time. But on this one, it was so good. I think you know what? I'll take video. I'll take a picture or whatever of this particular salsa. So I use this salsa that I got from Costco, right? And then I don't even know how much. It was probably like half a cup. And then I put in some mustard. And then I put in some of this new Japanese barbecue sauce that I found. So I'll take video or something or picture or whatever of these ingredients and I'll pop that in here when I put this video together, and I mixed those 3 together. That was unbelievable. I also cubed up some zucchini and some yellow zucchini that I got at the farmer's market on Sunday, and I sauteed that in a wok, and then I added that to this, and then I had a little bit of green bean salad that I made that I didn't make, that I had bought, and I put that in there and just mixed it all together. It was so good, but you don't need all that other stuff. The potatoes and the dressing are just absolutely out of this world. So another one is something, if you play video games, if you watch anime, if you read manga, is called yakisoba. There's 2 different versions. There's yakisoba pan and there's yakisoba. Yakisoba pan. Pan actually means bread. If anybody's Spanish, pan is bread. So what you would do a different version of this for yakisoba pan. So what I did for yakisoba is I cut up some cabbage and I cut up some peppers. You can use whatever heat peppers that you want. I sauteed them. I made the sauce. I let the vegetables get to the saute level that I wanted. Then I moved them over to the side of the wok. I poured the sauce in while the noodles were cooking. And then once the noodles are cooked, then I put them in the sauce. And after the sauce, you want the sauce to start bubbling a little, kind of incorporate. Then you put the noodles in there. And then you incorporate everything. If you want me to make actual recipe videos where I show everything in detail, let me know down in the comments. I've done that in the past. Not too many people have watched them. So I don't know if that's something that you actually want or not. But if it is, let me know down in the comment section. So what you would do if you were going to do yakisoba pan is you really wouldn't add any vegetables in, because a lot of the times people will wrap this and actually take it for lunch or whatever, and the vegetables just, you know, kind of get wet and everything. So you would make the sauce pretty plentiful, because you want it to make the bread a little bit soft, but you don't want it to get as wet as it would if you had like vegetables, cabbage and peppers and whatever else. You could add onion, you could add anything you want to. Another thing that I forgot to add in that I did later is you actually can make strips of nori, and then you can add that in there for a really good extra taste if you like nori. Kelp, I don't really like the idea of kelp. Kelp is a little too thick, and I don't think it would add anything to this. The next one is one that I actually got the most reception for, and I was not expecting this at all, is the one that I kind of just called the rice stew, because I don't like soup all that much. And what I did is I use a lot of zucchini in all my stuff, so that's kind of a staple. So I cut up a yellow and a green zucchini. I sauteed them. Now, this one I just did in a regular pot. I guess I should have mentioned some of the stuff in the other ones. I did in a regular pot. I think it's maybe a 10-quart pot or something like that. You don't need this big if you're making smaller version. And I sauteed the zucchini. Then I threw in some pepper. And then I let the zucchini in there first. I let that get to a consistency that I want to. I don't like to dictate, you know, what consistency is, because some people like crunchy, some people like it like, you know, really sauteed. So saute it to the level you like. It's going to take a different minute range depending on how you like it. Then I added in the peppers. Then I added I let those saute for a couple like a minute or two, and then I threw in some corn, and that is when I put in all of the sauces that I wanted to. So I had a soy sauce. I had that Japanese barbecue sauce that I had just put a picture of in for the other thing. And I actually had some sweet and sour sauce left over. So I put that in there. I let the vegetables get that flavory. All right. So that was like a 2-3 minutes with them just having that flavor on. If you wanted to add in any kind of spices, this is when you would do it. So if you wanted to, whatever spices it is that you wanted to add, you would do that now. Don't do that after the liquid is in there. And then I just added in the liquid once everything was cooked to a level that I really thought it should be at. This really is going to vary depending on how you like things, how spicy you like things. This is going to be personal preference. Then I put in 3 cups of water, and I just, because there was so much other sauce in there, it actually created like a stock, basically, with all the vegetables in it. Now, if you want it more soupy, then add more water or just add in less rice. So what I did is in the rice cooker, and I only suggest a rice cooker, I'm just a rice cooker fan, is I put in 2 dry cups of what's called sweet rice. That's why it looked a little different. Sweet rice is actually rice that you steam. It's very hard to make, actually. So if you have a rice cooker and you see sweet rice at the Asian market, I think that's the only place that you're going to see it. Know that there's a specific setting on the rice cooker for sweet rice. You only use that one. Otherwise, it's not going to turn out right. And only use the exact water amount that it calls for. Don't add any more water. Otherwise, it just will come out terrible. Anyway, I added that in there. You don't have to use sweet rice. I just wanted, with this kind of food, I like to use sweet rice. It tends to make the best consistency or whatever. So I added that in, and I just kind of let that come to a boil, and I let it simmer for maybe 10 minutes. I think I actually came down here and bounced on the trampoline while it was cooking, and then I just put it in a bowl. This is going to be very, very hot. Not spicy hot, just very hot. So put it in a bowl and actually let this sit for a few minutes before you try to eat it. Otherwise, you are going to burn your mouth to like death, basically. I mean, you're not going to be able to taste anything. So definitely on this one, of all of the ones that I've made here, definitely for this one, let it sit for a little while. And the last one that I got a lot of comments on was the rice chili that I made. So what I did is I made a chili. So I made a chili. I don't think I have any of this stuff down here. But you might. I don't think I took any video of this, unfortunately. I didn't expect this to come out as good as it did, so I didn't really take video of it. I did take video of the finished product. So what I did, like always, is the way I make things is I put the beans that I was going to use and I put the corn that I was going to use in the bottom of the pan. Again, I used about a 10-quart saucepan for this, or pot, I mean. And I cooked this stuff and I let it saute for a little while, and then I put all the spices on there. So I put probably a tablespoon of chili powder, and I put about 2/3 of a tablespoon of cumin, and I let that incorporate in whatever. So if you want onions, I think I actually did put onions in this too. I don't use onions a lot, but if you wanted to put onions, I put a little bit of actual garlic, real garlic. I really minced it down. That was actually local. That was from my dad. And I let all of the stuff cook. I let all the stuff saute, and then I put the spices on there, and then I let it cook a little bit more. I let that spices cook into whatever you're going to saute. Then I put in the tomato, the diced tomatoes, and I let that incorporate for a while. They call that deglazing the pan, basically, because if there's a lot of stuff on the bottom of the pan, then once you put the extra liquid in it, it'll uptake everything, unless you burn things. And like with everything, use like a medium heat on all this stuff. And then you put the diced tomatoes in there, which are in a sauce, like a liquidy sauce, and it uptakes everything. And I let that incorporate for a while. And then I added in a tomato sauce. I think these are both 15-ounce cans. So this is the most that I did. What I also did do, though, is after I poured in the tomato sauce out of the can, then I rinsed the can down with filtered water, and then I dumped that in there too. Now, it wasn't a full can. It was maybe 7.5 ounces. And I added all that together, and I let that cook down. I let all the flavors cook into it. And then I took just regular sushi rice, actually, that I had made in my rice cooker, and I added that in with the amount that I wanted it to be. You saw it in the video. I'll probably show the video again. And that was really good. This one, you probably can serve and eat. Maybe serve and just wait a minute. It's not as hot as the other one. And it was really good. Oh, I also added in a bit of sugar to what before the rice was in. I like the taste of tomato sauce in a little bit of sugar, a little sweeter tomato sauce. To me, that is as good as it gets. You might not like that, but if you do, just add, I don't know how much sugar it was. It wasn't a ton, maybe 1/8 a cup, maybe a little bit more. And that was it. That one was phenomenally good. I find that when you make the tomato sauce or whatever it is, like the chili, a sweet chili, and you put rice in it, it's so much better. If it's a very spicy chili, I find that adding rice to it just isn't good. If it's a very spicy chili, if it's a very spicy chili, I would actually add in noodles. That's what I would do. So if you're going to do a sweet chili, add in rice. If you're going to do a spicy chili, add in noodles. And that's my video. If you want me to start making more actual recipe videos, let me know. It's not the easiest for me to do with the way the kitchen is set up, but I can do it. And that's it. I can't think of anything else. Any comments, questions, leave them down below. If you want me to, if there's a recipe that you want me to try out and make, maybe leave that down below too. Just run it out with the comments, and I will talk to you next time. Like, subscribe, and there you go.